welcome back to the College Cinephile. I'm Marcus Gutierrez, I'm here with Aerik, and today we're going to be covering Jordan Peele's newest masterpiece, Us. And this Us stars Lupita Nyong'o, Winston Duke, Shahadi Wright, and Evan Alex. Now, Aerik, what did you like about this movie?
I loved that, in my opinion, it was a fantastic essay in film. And what I mean by that is that he really had something to say, and he put it out in visual context. And it was really, really cool. It was interesting, because throughout the whole thing, you're wondering what's going on, and what exactly is he trying to say, who represents what, and I loved that. And usually, I do not like thinking through a film. Sometimes I just like turning it off and just enjoying nothing, you know, just watching and enjoying the journey. This one took me on a roller coaster ride, and I really liked it a lot.
Yeah, with the release of Get Out a couple years ago, it kind of got us ready for this film and fact of like hidden meanings and stuff like that, which we'll cover later. But a lot of stuff that they covered very well is a lot of the horror elements. Like they handled jump scares very well. The camera work was very, very well done. And they did it so well that they took a bunch of horror tropes like the jump scares, the creep around the corners. They did all of that excellently. Jordan Peele really, really knocked it out of the park with all these horror elements.
Absolutely, and we cannot forget to mention the blood. There was a lot of blood in this movie. Just FYI, if you haven't seen it yet, there will be blood, a lot of it. It's intense and crazy, but so cool and suspenseful. It's really neat.
Yeah, they did an interesting thing with the audio where there was no real overarching soundtrack other than the songs that was played on, like diegetic sound like radios, Alexa home deals. It was really cool because it kind of shows us that film audio can also be more than just the non-digest soundtrack around us. It could be inside the world and people can be acknowledged.
And that's one thing that I loved about this film. It used soundtrack in a really cool way. Like in the background, they're playing these hip hop, you know, just music songs, and things are happening, and it's just really cool. Like you're just like, wow, this is like if it was happening in real life, this music would just be randomly playing, and that's really cool. It was so neat to see.
Yeah, I feel like any director that could have taken this and used it in the movie, they couldn't have done it as well as Jordan Peele did, because he times it so well with comedic moments and stuff like that. That's another thing. This movie is actually pretty funny too. The actors are really really funny, especially Winston Duke, who played M'Baku from Black Panther, and he's a really good breakout actor in this couple last year.
Absolutely. I think it was fantastic. The casting in the film was really well done. They were such fantastic actors. They did, and Lupita Nyong'o, wow,
she did an
incredible
job.
Wow.
There's a part in the movie where, because this movie does tell the story of doppelgangers coming back and trying to take back others' lives, and I feel because some actors have to play two parts, and I feel like Lupita played the other part so well. She played both parts with even emotion, and even so, they go above and beyond with how she was performing.
Absolutely. Jordan Peele actually said that she scared him a lot. Like on set, there were days when, you know, she'd be totally, you know, Lupita, and then the next day, you know, she'd be like, like she needs something, and it would scare the crap out of him because she had to stay in that place as an actress, and that was really cool to know. I find that incredible.
The only problem I really had with this movie was, and this could also be a hidden meaning in the movie, is how desensitized some of the characters are to certain events in the movie. When people are dying, characters are desensitized to it. They play it off as a joke. But I kind of feel like that's like how we are today in America, where like we're really desensitized to what we see on TV. Like, oh, another person died on the news. Don't get it wrong, it's still tragic, but we are just so desensitized that we see it on a daily basis.
Well, yeah, they were with the news, but also with the kids in general. They reacted so like swiftly and calmly, and you just kind of go, whoa. And I didn't really think about that till you mentioned it, and I was like, you know, that is crazy. They just kind of this is something that exists in that world, and they're okay with it. It was crazy.
And another thing we got to establish is a lot of people are taking to the reviews and comparing it to Get Out and really breaking down this movie in the views of Get Out. This is a whole other movie. Jordan Peele made this. He made this movie completely independent from Get Out. He has a lot of similar things inside us, but I feel like people shouldn't do that. Like, what do you think?
Yeah, this I'm going to tell you now, looking at the camera, I'm telling you, those of you, the first question I got asked when I saw this film, because I got to see it early, was whether or not it was as good as Us. And I continually answered with, it is two separate films. They cannot be compared. Unfortunately, yes, they kind of fit into similar places, but whereas one was kind of horror suspense, one was a little less that. One was more of a, they were just different. They were definitely different. But yeah, two separate films.
So overall, this movie, what are your overall feelings towards it?
I say go see it. It's very interesting. It's a fantastic date movie. Why? Because afterwards, you are going to talk about it. You're going to question, you're going to say, well, what was this? And what do you think about that? And just several aspects of this film that you're just going to wonder, and you're going to want to talk about it. So it's perfect for a date film, and that's a good thing.
I'm really excited. I was very excited when I came into this movie because I love Jordan Peele, especially with what he's been doing recently, like how he's a part of Twilight Zone now. He's been working on a bunch of other little projects here and there, and I'm really excited for any future movies here. But this movie right here is, like you said, a very good video essay of proper cinematography, proper camera work. He takes the horror movie genre and flips on his head and makes it his own. It's not a horror movie at this point. It's a Jordan Peele movie. And for me, I have to give it a 3.5 out of 5.
Nice. Well, I honestly, because of the scares, but because of the way he plays on fear, I give it a 4 out of 5. And I almost give it a 5, but because it's not my genre and it's not necessarily my thing, and in the beginning, it took me quite a bit to get into it, so I give it a 4 for sure.
Okay. Thank you for checking out the College Cinephile. If you like what we do here, hit that like button, and you want to check out more, hit that subscribe button.
That's right, and make sure that you check out all of our videos. We have several of them for you guys to flip through, and if you're curious about our CineArc, I guess, CineArc
I like that.
The films that we've seen, you definitely can see what we thought about it.
All right. We'll see you later on that.
Bye.